that the Komenda Sugar Factory comes on stream again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, I want to find out whether the outgrowers, whether they have started a sugarcane production as we speak.
Yes, Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Fortunately, the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry is embarking on the Feed the Industry program. We have secured land thanks to the Komenda Chief, and very soon, when we get the private sector operator, he will tell us the kind of sugarcane that they will need for the factory, and same will be done. We'll do backwards integration so they can start the production and then later get the sugarcane. Thank you very much.
Any more?
I'm grateful, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you so much. We'll move to the second question.
Speaker, please.
Former Minister, Western Region.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to know from the Minister for Trade and Agribusiness whether the factory has ever produced sugar, and how many tons of sugar, and where did they get their sugar came from?
Yes, Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Yes, Komenda has ever produced sugar, but I cannot give you the figures. If you ask me for figures, I'll provide. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Please, I would like to ask the Minister whether the factory is under the management of the ministry or a private sector contractor, I don't know. The management of the factory, is it under the supervision of the ministry or a private operator?
Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I speak to you right now, the factory is not under any operation. It will be recalled that this factory has not worked for so many years, but the ministry supervises it. Thank you. That's why we are working very hard to operationalize it. Thank you.
Oh, Minister for...
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, given that the Minister talked about non-payment of electricity bills, which started from 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, culminating in the electricity to the factory, leading to huge unpaid bills, I want to inquire from the Minister what plan she has to ensure that all those huge accumulated bills that she inherited are settled to enable the factory to kickstart. Thank you.
Honourable Minister, do you have answer to this question? You may do so.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I indicated earlier, the factory has accumulated electricity bills that's worrisome. I inherited same when I took office last year. When we have the transactional advisor and we have the private sector operator, it will be part of the cost of the plant, and so all of that will be taken care of. So I can assure the Minister for Energy that even when we bring this plant on stream, the inherited debts relative to the electricity bill will be sorted out. I thank you for the opportunity.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to find out from the Minister the terms of reference of the transaction advisor. Thank you.
Honorable Member, I don't know where this supplementary question is coming from. Well, the sentence says, given the importance government attaches to the factory, the ministry has prioritized the engagement of a transaction advisor to package the factory. So they've not yet engaged. They are prioritized to engage. And you're already asking for the terms of reference. Yes,
Speaker,
please.
I would like to know the scope of the transaction advisor, the scope of his work.
Minister, do you have any answer to that?
Especially if we get the authorization from the Ministry of Finance, we will draft one for the transactional advisor, but it's obvious that we have not procured one, and so its terms is not ready. Thank you.
He's been on his feet for some time, so please.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, last year when the 2026 budget was read, sugarcane farmers were up in arms with the government over their lack of commitment with respect to the government's commitment in reviving the factory. Right Honorable Speaker, when you check the last paragraph to the answer from the minister, she claims that given the importance government attaches to the factory, the ministry has prioritized the engagement of a transaction advisor to package the factory and secure a strategic investor to operationalize the factory and farms in the 2026 budget. Mr. Speaker, as I said, in the 2026 budget, nowhere was the revival, or if you like, the Komenda factory ever mentioned. And so I want to find out from the minister how she seeks to deal with that commitment, as she is claiming that in the 2026 budget, it was mentioned or is going to be mentioned. Thank you.
Yes, Minister.
Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, I think that maybe if the honorable member has said he has not seen, I would have appreciated it more, but for his information, the 2026 budget made mention of Komenda Sugar Factory. What is more, the people of Komenda are not up in arms. Sugarcane growers are not up in arms. I have indicated that they are rather excited because for the past 8 years, they were not engaged, but when I assumed office as Ghana's Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, I engaged them. And so they know that very soon they will get the opportunity to grow sugarcane for the Komenda Sugar Factory. So there is nothing like they being in arms, and there is a provision for Komenda Sugar Factory in the 2026 budget. Thank you very much, Honorable Member.
Honorable members, please, may we move on to the next question? The next question stands in the name of the Honorable Member for New Juabensa, Honorable Michael Ochre Befi.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry the status of the vehicle component manufacturing policy. Thank you, Speaker.
Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, as part of the implementation of government's industrial transformation agenda, the automotive industry has been identified as a strategic industry. To harness the multiplier effects in developing the automotive industry, the government has drafted the Ghana Automotive Component Manufacturing Development Policy to attract investments from component manufacturers to feed into the local automotive industry while supplying aftermarket components across the sub-region. Globally, the automotive component manufacturing industry is universally recognized as a key strategic sector for stimulating multiplier effect in terms of industrial transformation and as a powerful driver of employment, foreign investment, innovation, and economic growth, contributing directly and indirectly to GDP. Established automotive production locations typically have automotive component employment levels 2 to 3 times that of vehicle assemblers. Mr. Speaker, a draft policy provides a structured framework to attract local and foreign investment into the manufacturing of components, parts, and accessories, while strengthening standards, skills, infrastructure, and market access to position Ghana as a regional automotive hub. The fundamental principle underlying the policy is that the private sector is the engine of future growth, with government providing an enabling environment designed for automotive component manufacturing to thrive over the long term. Mr. Speaker, the policy has been shared specifically with the Ministries of Finance, Land and Natural Resources, Youth Development and Employment, Energy and Green Transition, Transport to solicit further comments for incorporation. In the coming days, I'll be discussing with my colleague, Honorable Kaisel Atofor-Singh, Minister for Finance, the alignment of the policy incentive measures with the government's current incentive regime to pave way for the submission of the draft document to Cabinet for consideration and approval. This will be followed by the necessary legislative amendment for full implementation. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, the Ghana Automotive Component Manufacturing Policy presents a major opportunity to deepen industrialization, expand exports, create skilled jobs, integrate SMEs, and position Ghana as the automotive hub for West Africa and thereafter. Parliamentary oversight and support will be essential to anchor physical, regulatory, and institutional reforms required to operationalize this strategic national program. And I thank the Honourable Member of Parliament for the question.
Honourable Member, any supplementary?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like the Minister to give us whether there are incentives available for those who want to venture into component manufacturing. Are there any incentives provided in the document for manufacturers of components, please?
Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I indicated that the incentives that have been recommended will have to be discussed with the Minister for Finance, after which I can make same public. I thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to know from the Minister whether craftsmen in enclaves like Kukompe have a place in the policy, like craftsmen who are into design, where they have a place in the policy. Thank you very much.
Yes, Minister.
The answer is yes. Thank you very much.
Well, you still have a
Yes.
bite. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Speaker, I would like also to know from the Speaker, because with regards to component manufacturing, vehicle component manufacturing, I guess there's the need for research and development, which must be a key, ingredient in the whole policy framework. So I would like to know from the Minister whether they have any plans like that, and if they can specifically mention some of the things they have done so far with regards to trying to link industry to academia by getting research and development arrangements in the policy.
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, happy to inform honourable member that there is a component for research and development, which is very key in any policy that we draft, and you know that already. Thank you.
Yes, honourable member.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. When the honourable minister was responding, she made mention of specifically sharing the document with ministries of finance, lands and natural resources, youth development and empowerment, energy and green transition and transport to solicit further comment for incorporation. Mr. Speaker, we all know that the automotive policy can work well, especially with the advent of electric vehicles. You need a skilled workforce to make it thrive. So what has been the role or the contribution that has come from the Ministry of Education, which is a critical aspect of such a policy, since these are the ministries that you mentioned that you have shared the document with?
Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. The bill is still, the policy is in this draft stage, so we'll continue to engage as many stakeholders as possible in the process. Thank you very much.
Yes, honourable member.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, let me commend the Minister about the plan of the government to give incentives to people who are interested in such manufacturing processes. However, I wanted to give a clear-cut distinction between the kind of investment that will be given to local manufacturers, because sometimes it is proper that you are intentional about such incentives, because if you don't take care, if you give a general incentive, you might end up supporting foreign investors rather. So are you going to be intentional about incentives that are supposed to be given to local manufacturers? Thank you.
Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry are committed to ensuring local participation in all the investments that we do in this country. As much as we look for foreign direct investment, we want our people to also invest in the space. They will continue to create the enabling environment for our people to take advantage of the policy. Thank you.
Honourable members, we move to the next question. Question number 316. It stands in the name of the honourable member for Kwadaso constituency, Professor Kingsley Nyako. Please, honourable, you may ask your question.
Mr. Speaker, thanks for the opportunity. Even though I had a supplementary question, but that's okay. My question is that permit me to ask the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry the specific interventions the ministry has taken to stimulate domestic production, increase export volumes, and add value to our products to boost trade earnings. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, under government's agenda to reset Ghana's economic development, the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry is implementing the Accelerated Export Development Program to support export-oriented enterprises, especially those in the non-traditional sector, to grow in skill by expanding production for existing markets and to penetrate new markets with high value-added products. Specific initiatives undertaken include the procurement and distribution of 211,606 coconut seedlings to farmers in the Volta, Eastern, Central, Western and Ashanti regions to diversify export product lines. Farmers in other regions will be considered in the second phase of the distribution. The ministry, through her agencies, has also supported 79 enterprises to participate in various international fairs in countries such as China, Germany, and Italy to exhibit their products. Through participation in the exhibition, the enterprises have succeeded in securing orders to the tune of 325 million USD and 2.7 million euros. Ghana Export Promotion Authority, GEPA's Export School has trained 62 small and medium enterprises in export market intelligence, export financing, market access requirements, and trade logistics to enhance the capacity of local enterprises to compete in the export market. GEPA has also provided advisory services to 850 MSMEs on market penetration, attractiveness, export trade protocols, and other export-related information. To facilitate export, the Ghana Free Zones Authority has fully deployed a single-window platform for free zone enterprises to expedite the export processing system and provide seamless export trade. Additionally, 27 free zones enterprises were registered to participate in the Africa Continental Free Trade Area market. As part of the potential measures to be compliant with EU standards, leverage on the market opportunities and maintain competitiveness of Ghanaian products, the Ghana Standard Authority inspected 1,279 export consignment, fishing establishments, and frozen vessels. To enhance our export competitiveness and in response to the challenges faced by exporters in meeting the 60-day repatriation deadline under the Bank of Ghana's Letter of Commitment policy, the ministry engaged the Bank of Ghana to review and address the relevant policy constraints. Through the ministry's engagement with the Bank of Ghana, extension has been secured for the expiry tenure of the letters of commitment required for the repatriation of export proceeds from 60 to 120 days. This allows Ghanaian exporters to be more competitive, improve buyer relationship, and offer favorable terms of payment whilst maintaining regulatory compliance. Mr. Speaker, the ministry is leveraging existing preferential trade agreements to expand Ghana's export market and provide product diversification through the implementation of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. Under AFTA, the ministry has organized 2 regional dialogues in Central and Volta region to enhance MSMEs' participation in AFTA as part of AFTA's NCO-UNDP cooperation project for women and youth-led enterprises. To ensure consumer safety, compliance quality, and improve the competitiveness of made-in-Ghana products, the Ghana Standard Authority improved its certificate scheme and certified 278 locally manufactured products. Ghana Standard Authority has also issued 1,172 exports and health certificates to ensure product quality assurance and improve exports. Mr. Speaker, added to initiatives under the Accelerated Export Development Program, the Exim Bank is currently conducting assessments on companies that receive initial funds for construction, procurement of machinery and installation, but struggling to start operation due to lack of adequate working capital or raw materials. The objective is to consider them for extension of credit lines. This is to ensure the smooth operationalization of their businesses and enhance local production. Mr. Speaker, the ministry is also implementing Feed the Industry under Ghana FIRST initiative to enhance competitiveness and sustainability of Ghana's agro-processing industry through integrated agricultural value chains that ensure consistent supply of quality raw materials. Feed the Industry is designed to boost production of local materials under commercial contract farming to ensure a consistent and sufficient supply of high-quality agricultural produce for industrial use. Under the initiative, over 40,000 acres of land has been earmarked by Yeji Traditional Council to promote large-scale commercial contract farming. In addition, government has prohibited the export of raw rubber and non-ferrous scrap metal to secure raw materials for processing by local factories. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I reaffirm that these multifaceted interventions spanning domestic production, export expansion, and value addition remain central to our vision to building a resilient and inclusive export-led economy. I thank you very much.
Yes, Honourable Member, supplementary question.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to find out from the Minister. I must admit that the answer has been a bit comprehensive, but I want to find out from her the criteria that was used to distribute the coconut seedlings to the 5 regions, and when is she going to distribute the seedlings to the outstanding 11 regions? That's the first question, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I indicated, the procurement and distribution of the 211,606 coconut seedlings to farmers in the aforementioned regions was done by my agency, Ghana Export Promotion Authority. And so I will not readily know the mechanism by which they use to distribute, but I'm happy to find that and communicate it to you. Thank you very much. And the rest will be done in this year. They are waiting for the commitment authorization. You know, under the administration of Excellency John Dramani Mahama, you cannot procure until you get commitment authorization letter from the Ministry of Finance to ensure that everything that you are procuring is budgeted for. And so immediately, the Ministry of Finance makes the commitment authorization available. The processes for procurement will start, and then we'll continue thereafter. Thank you very much.
Yes, Honourable Member.
Mr. Speaker, I'm grateful to the Minister for assuring the House that the criteria will be duly furnished to us. I'm grateful. My second supplementary question has to do with, Mr. Speaker, she has indicated in her responses that the Ministry has supported some enterprises to visit some countries in the form of exhibitions, and that we've secured $325 million and 2.7 million euros. I'd like to find out from her whether these monies are readily available now and how these monies are going to be used to the benefit of the country. Thank you.
Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. This is private sector money with private sector. It is not government money. We are not going to utilize it. The private sector that we facilitate, you know, public sector-led private sector driven. We lead for the private sector to make the money and make the economy strong. Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker,
Honourable member, you have exhausted.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, you're my father. You know, my question to her was whether the monies are in, whether with government or with the private sector. That was the question. Granted. My last question is, the essence of the question was not only about the exploitation of our produces, but rather value addition. I'm saying that the one leg of my question was not only about the exploitation of our produces, but also value addition. How intentional has your ministry been in terms of establishing processing factories to promote this value addition to earn foreign exchange? Thank you.
Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the honourable member for the opportunity given me to say the things I wanted to chip in at the last time that I didn't get the opportunity. The Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry has established 7 factories for value addition with support from Ministry of Finance and IFAD. They include a cashew factory, 2 cassava factories, poultry, maize, and cashew. Yes, I mentioned cashew already. And in this year, the ministry, this year, the ministry is coming up with 2 cashew factories, cabinet approved for the construction of 2 cashew factories, one in Bono East, another in Bono region, to be financed by Exim. The government of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is up and doing in value addition. And so this year, apart from these 2, there will be 5 more factories in Ghana at various locations. I thank you very much for the opportunity.
Yes, honourable member. And that will be the last one. We'll move to the last question after this.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Let me commend the instrumentality of the Minister of Trade for her response, except to ask that per the answers that she gave, she claims that she supported about 79 enterprises in China, Germany to embark on some exhibitions. And by way of the exhibitions, they had orders for about $325 million and 2.75 million euros. I want to find out from the minister how much has been realized in exports for such orders. And if possible, and if she can give, how much has been repatriated back to this country as foreign exchange? If the minister can give that answer. For the avoidance of doubt, I'm saying that the exhibitions that you embarked on, the ones that you supported about 79 enterprises to embark on, I want to find out how much has been realized in exports, because you claim that because of those exhibitions, you had about 325 million in orders. And I want to find out how much has been realized in exports based on those orders, and how much has been also repatriated into the country as foreign exchange.
Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the orders secured are orders for export, but I will not be able to tell you how much of the money has been repatriated, but how much exports we help them secure, I can say for a fact. But if you want that, you can respectfully require of me, and I'll respond. Thank you very much.
Honourable members, we move on to the last question. Minority Leader.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I noticed that the minister, anytime she's asked a question, supplementary question, it is yes, no, I don't know. Mr. Speaker, the minister must know that she is not in the witness box. She is not responding to a cross-examination question. This is House of Parliament. This is House of Parliament, and you must be elaborative and explain the issues. This is a matter that the public is interested in. Mr. Speaker, that said, I would want to know from the minister. She says that some 7 factories are being constructed. May I know from the Honourable Minister what incentives the government has in place for these factories? Because we are aware that since the 1D1F policy was cancelled, there is no policy alternative to support the private sector. The whole of the last year, there was no growth in industry. So, Mr. Speaker, she should explain to this House the incentives that the government has put in place to support the private sector. Mr. Speaker, that is the question.
Honourable members, First Deputy Speaker to take the chair.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in pursuance of Order 89, Rule 3. Mr. Speaker, with your leave, it states any other member may be allowed to ask no more than 2 supplementary questions, except that the majority and minority leaders may each ask no more than 5 supplementary questions on the substantive question. Mr. Speaker, the minority leader in asking a supplementary question sought to ask rhetorical questions, suggesting that the minister doesn't know how to answer questions. To the extent that he said, the minister said, I don't know, I don't know. And she never said anything like that. Second, he intimated that the minister should be elaborative in answering questions. Our rules do not suggest any such thing in answering questions. You may not like how the minister has answered you, but you can't tell the minister that she's not responding to that cross-examination. So, Mr. Speaker, with all due respect, the manner that the minority leader sought to ask in supplementary questions is untenable within the rules.
Honourable Minority Leader, because I was signaled to take over from Mr. Speaker, I did not listen to your questions. May you please repeat your question?
Speaker, with respect, the Honourable Minister in an earlier answer said the government is establishing 7 factories, including some cashew factories in Bono East and the Bono region. So, Speaker, what I want to know from the minister is what incentives the government has put in place in view of the fact that the 1D1F policy, which was to allow for tax exemption to enable these factories import raw materials and machinery at a cheaper cost and to produce cheaper and expand their business and employ more, has been abolished.
Honorable Minority Leader, you know issues in relation to cancellation or otherwise of 1D, 1F cannot emanate from the question or the answer that you have quoted. I will allow the minister to answer the question limited to any incentives available. Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. An earlier question, since he is the minority leader, he had the opportunity to ask two questions. The first one was the fact that my answers were very short, which I respectfully state that as a good law student, I answer questions the way they are asked. When the questioner asked whether the private people will have the opportunity to participate, the answer was yes. And I didn't have to add anything more. So it's not as if I will evade question or I don't know an answer to a question, but I answer questions as they are asked, and I don't tell people in asking their questions. So you have to elicit from me what you want. I don't second guess people. If you ask a simple question, I give a simple answer. Thank you. And then on the cashew production, fortunately, they did not need tax waivers from individuals because this is IFAD, and IFAD already has tax waivers. And so when IFAD purchased the machines for the cashew, the tax waivers were there already. And so they had the opportunity to use that which they have been given. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, may I know from the minister, these 7 factories she refers to, are they being fully funded by the private sector, or they are being funded by the state? And if so, what are the amounts involved?
Honorable Minister, you can ask the question whether it is funded by the state or private sector, but regarding the amount involved, minority leaders should file a separate question.
I am extremely grateful, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the factories are funded solely. Okay, so it's not funded by 2 groups, the Ministry of Finance and then IFAD. No private sector contribution, except that it will be run by the private sector. So, Honorable Speaker, there is no, yes, IFAD, yes.
Please, and you are not to answer anybody from the periphery.
Yeah, okay.
You answer the question and you address the chair.
No. Right Honorable Speaker, the factories are financed by the Ministry of Finance and IFAD. No private sector contribution. Thank you.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Speaker, from what the minister has just told this House, I want to know from him whether these private companies that are going to manage a public-funded factories have already shown experience, or they are completely new startups. Because from the explanation, it appears to me that government is fund. Oh, Mr. Speaker,
Minority Leader, you are to ask a supplementary question, but not to tell a story.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, you always, Mr. Speaker, with
yes, you have asked your supplementary question.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, you know you always want us to extend courtesy to you, but your words are harsh. Your words, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Your words are harsh.
Yes, because
when we turn back to you,
because you asked your supplementary question. You have asked a supplementary question, so the minister must answer.
Mr. Speaker, you don't use such words on your leader. Let me return back that respect to you. Please. Please. I beg you. Please.
Ask a supplementary question with all due respect.
Mr. Speaker, I will. But the language from the chair might be such that we can all cooperate. I beg you.
Very well.
Thank you.
Ask a supplementary
Mr. Speaker,
question.
my question to my respected colleague, the minister, is that since this funding is 100% from the state and being run by the private sector, according to her, I want to know whether these private sector entities have shown any experience prior to being granted that access, or they are new startups,
yes,
or they are startups.
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, fortunately, they have not been selected. What happens is that we do an open tender for people to take the bid, show what they have done, competence and all of that before, through proper tendering, they will be selected.
Yes, that is question number one.
That last one.
Very well.
Mr. Speaker, it is always important for clarity. Now, from what the minister has just said, it means that these factories have not been set up at all.
You see, it is to avoid what is happening.
No,
That's
Speaker,
why I will urge on you to ask a supplementary
Mr.
question.
Speaker, I am doing exactly so.
Yes.
But Mr. Speaker,
but look at what is happening between you and the minister.
What I want to know from the minister, simply, is that when does she hope to complete this process for the factory to be in full operation?
Thank you. Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm sure if we give ourselves the next 8 weeks, we should be able to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Majority Leader. Honorable Majority Chief, we saw the Majority Leader earlier on his feet. Yes, Majority Leader.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to caution my colleague, the Minority Leader. Yes, caution, yes. Caution.
It's parliamentary language.
Caution, yes. Caution. I use the word caution. I use the word caution.
Synonym admonish.
Mr. Speaker.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my friend who attended Fufutsu Primary School is not here to assist you. He would have told you that if you just Google the word caution, you'll find out that the word caution is not an offensive word.
At all.
It is not an offensive word at all.
At all.
So please, I just want to draw his attention that when you have disagreements with a decision of the Speaker, your approach and the way that you try to take on a Speaker in the chair is sometimes not the best. Plus, you can have issues. You can take your time and raise the issues with the Speaker. Speaker may review his decision, but the manner in which you were taking the first Deputy Speaker on is what I want to caution, that next time we shouldn't do it that way. Especially, we are live on television and then everybody's watching us. So I just want us to be cautious.
We now move to question numbered 401, standing in the name of Lawrence Ajinsam, Himan Lower Dentra. You have the floor. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, the one asking the question is not here, and he hasn't authorized anybody to ask the question to.
Very well. I will direct that the published answer be transmitted to the honorable member. Yes, Honorable Minister, we sincerely thank you for appearing before the House and responding to all your questions. You are accordingly discharged. You are discharged. Thank you so much for coming. Yes, Majority Leader. Question time is ended. Majority Leader, any indication?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, if we can take item 9 and 9, presentation of papers. The report of the, just for laying presentation. I was asking if we can vary the order of business and move to item 9, so we can lay the report of the committee on security intelligence on the Security Intelligence Agency's bill. Just
yes. The application is to vary the order of business. 9. Minority Leader.
No, we want to do 9.
No problem, Mr. Speaker. The chairperson, Mr. Speaker, I'm a member of the committee, so my chairperson, as colorful as she is looking.
Honourable members, the request that has been agreed to is to vary the order of business to take the item numbered 9 at commencement of public business, presentation of papers. Item numbered 9, Chairman of the committee.
Report of the Committee on Security and Intelligence on the Security and Intelligence Agency's Bill 2025.
Honourable members, the report has been duly presented. It is for distribution to members. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, let's take 10. Let's take item 10, but the Minister for Education, for reasons that we all know, is unavoidably absent. So if we agree to take 10A, I'll crave your indulgence for the Minister for Energy, who is here, to lay the University of Engineering and Agricultural Science Bill on behalf of the Minister for Education.
Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we don't have any difficulty in that.
Very well. Item number 10A.
An act to establish the University of Engineering and Agricultural Sciences and to provide for related matters.
Honourable members, the bill is read the first time and referred to the Committee on Education for consideration and reports. Item numbered 10B.
An act to provide for human sexual rights and family values and related matters.
Honourable members, the bill is read for the first time and refer to the Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee. Yes?
Mr. Speaker, I don't know if the member can give us a short explanation to this bill. Thank you.
Very well.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. The Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2025 is a private member's bill. It is not new to this House. As a matter of fact, the 8th Parliament passed the same bill in the previous Parliament. It is a bill which, according to CDD, the Afrobarometer survey, indicates that across the length and breadth of this country, 93% of the population consider the practices, promotion and propagation of LGBT and its related practices repugnant, highly repugnant to our values and our morals as a society. Mr. Speaker, this is the bill that our friends on the other side a few years ago were so enthused and championed greatly with all their strength. It even cascaded into various forms of propaganda and became topical in the run-up to the 2024 elections. Mr. Speaker, just as the House passed it in the 8th Parliament, but legal constraints stay the hands of Parliament from transmitting same to the President for assent, which position the Majority Leader, Honorable Mahama Yariga, and the President of the Republic, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, have all confirmed that indeed the bill never got to Jubilee House for President Akufo-Addo to sign it, and that it was still in this House owing to legal constraints. However, the Supreme Court eventually had removed...
Yes, for your, I recognize the Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I have never confirmed that the bill never got to the Jubilee House.
Yes, never.
I have consistently said that the bill went to the Jubilee House and there was a refusal to receive it and to sign it. So he should desist. He should desist. He should desist from peddling such falsehood and draw me into this matter. Mr. Speaker, I have consistently said the bill went to the Flagstaff House and there was a refusal to receive it.
Accompanied by a letter.
And a communication was sent out from the Flagstaff House to this Parliament, asking this Parliament to desist from attempting to transmit the bill to the President. Mr. Speaker, and also the honourable member should be mindful of the fact that when he says my colleagues on the other side were enthusiastic, as if they are not enthusiastic today. When you look at the sponsors of the bill, his name comes first, Honorable John Ntimfojo. The second person, Samuel Nate George, is an NDC member of Parliament and a Minister of State. Honorable Mr. Emmanuel Kwesi Bejira is an NDC member of Parliament. Honorable Mrs. Helen Ajwa Ntosu is an NDC member of Parliament and a former Minister of State. Mr. Speaker, I can mention many.
Yes, Odole Soa.
Many
Odole Soa.
members of this House who are joining him to sponsor the bill. And yet, he tries to create an impression that this side is not committed to the bill and that we're only committed to it in the past. The reason why this bill delayed and is being presented today is because the technical processes were being undertaken under the guidance of the Right Honourable Speaker. So once the Speaker gave indication that it could be late,
At business committee, we agreed that it should be late. So go ahead and indicate precisely what the objects of the bill are, and stop the antics of trying to create an impression that this is a side that is not committed to the bill.
Honourable members, why are we doing this to ourselves? The member in invoking the standing orders did so rightly, calling on you to give a short explanation. Or Honourable Habib, is that not what you said in quoting the standing orders rightly? Now, the standing orders for a good purpose says a short explanation, which you could do in a minute or a minute and a half. And mostly, when it is a bill, you just state in short. The rule says short explanation. And it serves everybody. Honorable Team Fojo.
Mr. Speaker, I'm guided. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'm guided. And so, reference to the memorandum that accompanies this bill, which summary in a few seconds I would submit, makes reference to the fact that the same bill was what was passed in the 8th Parliament. The majority leader can boldly contradict what the President of the Republic has said as a matter of public record, that the bill was never transmitted to Jubilee House, and that if this House passes it, then he will take a decision on it. And so, when this bill was first listed on the order paper in 7 months ago, it was deleted from the order paper the next day. A lot of controversies arose. Mr. Speaker, you ruled. Now we are here.
You see,
the bill has been laid to protect the values of the binary nature of gender.
Honorable Team Fojo. Can you hear me? Honorable Team Fojo, when you are called upon presentation of a bill to give a short explanatory memorandum, you just go to state the object. You say short explanation. Just go straight to tell us the object of the bill. Then you satisfy the requirement under the rules. It's not time for debate. The debate will come at the second reading.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for your superior guidance. And so now, sticking to the object of the bill seeks to ensure that the definition of gender is not in ambiguity, as is now being authorized in textbooks and teacher manuals. The binary nature of gender as between male and female, and as assigned as birth, and its related activities in line with our Constitution and our values as a society, to protect marriage as contracted between a man and a woman, and to ensure that the family system, which we both cherish, are preserved. So, Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, it is the expectation of the sponsors, which is bipartisan. It is a bipartisan private members bill which must be on record. And the expectation is that within this meeting, this Honorable House and all relevant committees will attach alacrity to this bill to pass it with urgency, as a matter of urgency, before this House rises, because it is not a new bill. It is an old bill which has gone through all the processes, consultations, and already survived plethora of legal and dissenting opinions, and has gone all the way to Supreme Court and held that no aspect of this bill affronts any aspect of our Constitution. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker.
The referral still stands.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker. Given that this is the first time it is happening, where we have several sponsors to a bill, and the Deputy Whip has asked the sponsors to explain, to make a short, explanatory statement regarding the laying of the bill. And even though he rose up to bow to allow the bill to be laid, the others have a stake. And so, Mr. Speaker, I want to get your pleasure as to whether it is not fair that the other sponsors of the bill be also heard on the object of the bill and etc. Mr. Speaker, why they are sponsoring the bill, Mr. Speaker. So you can add the other, you can take a few people who are part of the sponsors. Mr. Speaker, this is important at all times in the consideration of this bill, so that we will know that we are approaching it from a non-partisan point of view, so that the nation will be behind us. Because if we want to go partisan on this bill, it will be a problem. So it is important from the beginning that the bipartisanship is reflected at every stage. So given that he has made a statement, this side of the House should also be given an opportunity to also make a statement indicating our support and commitment to the passage of this bill, a commitment that we know will go up to the signing the bill. Because the other time, the commitment went and then it stopped at the gate of the Flagstaff House. This time to go into the Flagstaff House and we will sign it.
Honorable Majority Leader, I agree that there are about 10 sponsors of the bill. But in view of the fact that there will be a second reading, where many more of the sponsors will have the opportunity to debate the principles, the mischief in the society that the bill is seeking to cure, let's reserve our energy for the second reading of the bill. Yes, is it on the bill? If it is on the bill, honourable members, with all due respect, we have already referred the bill to the Constitutional Legal. Let them go and work on it and bring their results.
Mr. Speaker, I wanted to make an application to wait if the leadership of the Human Rights Committee can be added to the Constitutional Legal. Because, Mr. Speaker, because it is human rights related matters on today.
The majority side application is to add the leadership of the Human Rights Committee. And I think it is in order. I will therefore direct that the leadership of the Human Rights Committee joins the Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee to consider the bill and report. Yes, Honorable Kinsley Nyako.
Mr. Speaker, you know, you and I are on the private members' bills and motions committee. These bills pass through us. And I want to make an application that, if possible, our committee cannot be used as a conveyor belt for the speaker, for speaker to bring to the House. I'm pleading that the leadership of this committee should also be part to consider all such bills that will pass through our committee. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Kinsley Nyako, are you guided by Standing Order 186? Honorable Kinsley Nyako, are you guided by Standing Order 186? So you know that the work of the private members' bill and motions committee is limited to writing a report to the Speaker whether or not the bill meets the constitutional text or not, and whether or not it should be introduced. I believe within the rules, once the private members' bill and motions committee has done that, the work of the committee regarding that bill has come to an end. So there is no way by which we could order a private members' bill and motions committee to also join in the consideration of the bill. The responsibility of that committee is supposed to advise as to whether, based on our rules and the Constitution, the bill meets the test, particularly Article 108, Section 100 of Public Financial Management Act, whether the bill meets those requirements. And once the committee is satisfied and recommended the introduction of the bill, at introduction, right, you don't ask the committee to join the consideration.
You are right on that score, but my point is that because we are privy to the bill, we have read the bill and made recommendation to Mr. Speaker for his consideration as to whether he has to bring it before the House or no. Because of the foreknowledge, I'm saying that it wouldn't be a bad idea for the leadership to transfer their knowledge to bring to bear on the committee that is supposed to look into it. There is an application
the committee is Fantus official, and I'm also Fantus official. Yes, Honorable Habib.
Mr. Speaker, I think you are right in addressing the issue my colleague raised. But Mr. Speaker, I just want to thank you for adding the leadership of the Human Rights Committee. Mr. Speaker, if it will not hurt, I think for us to be able to get a very good bill, if we can add also the leadership of the Gender Committee, because, Mr. Speaker, majority of the definitions of that has to do with gender issues. So if we get the leadership of gender, as you have already added human rights, and then it will be able to make us have a very good committee to look at it. If
I
it will not help,
indicated
Mr. Speaker,
I am Fantus official. The committee sittings, any member who has interest in the bill can join the committee and help give consideration to the bill, and thereafter a report will come to the House for debate. Yes. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, if you will be pleased, I rise to make an application for us to do statements, and in particular pray that you permit me to proceed to make my statement. There is laying. Okay, you can lay the paper. I thought you were done laying the papers. Okay, that's fine. If you're not
yes,
done,
but we are considering item numbered 10.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, I thought we would.
No, it's
okay.
left with C.
Mr. Speaker, I rest my case. I rest my case.
Yes, item numbered 10C.
An act to amend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana to remove restrictions imposed on dual citizenship and persons who owe allegiance to a country other than Ghana from holding public offices, specified in Clause 2 of Article 8 and Paragraph A of Clause 2 of Article 94, and provide for related matters.
Honourable members, the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana Amendment Bill 2025 is duly read for the first time and referred to the committee responsible on constitutional legal affairs. Yes?
Mr. Speaker, I don't know if we can add the leadership of Foreign Affairs Committee to this bill, since it's involved. Okay, Mr. Speaker, then I abandon that.
Yes, the application is to come back to statement.
Speaker, we are not opposed.
Yes, Honorable Dr. Kabiru.
Speaker, thank you very much, but I'm rescinding on the statement I wanted to make. Thank you.
Very well. Yes, honorable members, we have a statement standing in the name of Osahin Alexander Komenda Afanyo Makins and Makin. Very well. And I will proceed to give him the floor.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Leader, Honorable Majority Leader.
I rise.
Minority Leader, hold on. Do we take the statement jointly, or you want to reduce yours into a comment? Do we take the statement jointly, or you want to reduce yours into a comment?
Speaker, I believe that we should take it jointly.
Very well.
We should take it jointly.
Very well. Yes. So, but it was agreed that as a first statement to be reduced into comment.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, thank you for the opportunity to make this statement on the need for cocoa producer price reduction, that government must reverse the decision with immediate effect. Mr. Speaker, government's shocking announcement reducing the prevailing producer price of 3,625 Ghana cedi a bag to 2,587 Ghana cedi a bag is illegal and an attempt to shortchange our gallant cocoa farmers. Mr. Speaker, the producer price of 3,625 Ghana cedi is a minimum guaranteed price and legally destined to run the full course of the 2025-2026 crop season. The cocoa sector calendar in Ghana is officially commences on the 1st of October of every year and ends 30th of September the following year. Mr. Speaker, we are just midstream of the 2025-2026 crop season, and government cannot vary the minimum guaranteed price to the disadvantage of the cocoa farmers or any of the parties that has a share in the achieved FOB price. Note, it is minimum and also guaranteed in entire course of the crop year. Mr. Speaker, the determination of the producer price of cocoa and the FOB share to other stakeholders in the industry is done by the Producer Price Review Committee. What becomes an FOB price for the approaching crop year is, in effect, the achieved weighted average of aggregated volumes and corresponding prices of cocoa already traded and contracted locked with buyers. The aggregates could be main crop beans at higher prices in combination with light crop beans at 20% discount and or rollover beans at higher or lower prices. Mr. Speaker, once the FOB price sharing is done and announced for a crop year, the producer price that arises is binding on government and Cocoa Board to pay throughout the crop year. And because it is achieved average, minimum and guaranteed, government cannot cut the farmer's price even the slightest down. If anything, government can go up in the course of the year, as has been the case, but never down. Mr. Speaker, it will be recalled that the Finance Minister, Dr. Kasiel Atuforsen, in October 2025, announced that Cocoa Board has achieved an FOB price of $7,200 per ton, and the farmer was to receive a producer price of $5,000 $1,240 at the then rate of 58,000, at the then rate into cedi converted as 58,000 Ghana cedi per ton, or 3,625 per 64 kilograms bag. It is our candid opinion that the $7,200 FOB price was based on factually achieved weighted average prices of already traded cocoa and not speculation. If it was factual, then government and Cocoa Board must go ahead and pay the prevailing price of 3,625 per bag to the end of the 2025-2026 crop year. Be that as it may, Mr. Speaker, once a producer price has been determined and announced for the crop year, it is legally and contractually binding. Therefore, government cannot, in the course of the particular year, vary the producer price to the disadvantage of the farmer. We, the minority, hereby call on the government as a matter of urgency to restore the producer price of cocoa in Ghana to its original value of 3,625 Ghana cedi per 64 kilogram bag with immediate effect. We also demand that government and Cocoa Board pay any difference that farmers and the LBCs might have suffered already by the recent announcement. Mr. Speaker, I so submit. Thank you so much.
Honourable members, I thank the maker of the statement, but to order that the word "we" in a minority be expunged from the record, since that is not part of the statement before me. Yes, I will call on the majority leader to also read his statement.
Mr. Speaker, I had thought that we would have taken this statement at a time when the Minister for Finance, who is responsible for the sector, would have been in the House to respond. Unfortunately, we have insisted on taking it today, and so I crave your indulgence to just read a statement of the Minister of Finance. Mr. Speaker, on Wednesday, 11 February 2026, Cabinet convened an emergency session to deliberate over developments in the cocoa sector. The session considered historical and systemic problems confronting the sector and took key decisions. The meeting noted the following developments in the cocoa sector. The 2025-2026 cocoa season began in August 2025 with a producer price at 51,660 Ghana cedis per ton, calculated as 70% of the gross FOB of $7,200 per ton, using an exchange rate of 10.25 cedis to the US dollar. On the 1st of October 2025, Côte d'Ivoire announced a new producer price 20% above that of Ghana. This decision by the Ivorians, coupled with movements in the exchange rate, resulted in significant difference in the producer price of cocoa between Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana. This price difference had the potential to trigger significant smuggling of cocoa, Ghana's cocoa, to Côte d'Ivoire. As a result, the Producer Price Review Committee adjusted the producer price to 58,000 Ghana cedis per ton to reflect an exchange rate of 11.5 cedis to the US dollar at the time. The decision by the Producer Price Review Committee to increase the producer price of cocoa made Ghana farm gate price competitive and stemmed the potential smuggling of Ghana's cocoa across to Côte d'Ivoire. From October 2025, Mr. Speaker, the world market price of cocoa started dropping, while the price was declining, Cocoa Board continued to sell the beans until the price went below $6,400 per ton, which is the cost of cocoa from the farmer to the port. Causes of the situation and the way forward. The current situation is largely driven by the unwillingness of buyers to purchase Ghana's cocoa because it has become uncompetitive. Cocoa from other producing countries is now selling at prices significantly lower than the producer price of Ghana. Meanwhile, Cocoa Board did not have the liquidity to purchase cocoa from farmers and stock for hedging or other trading decisions. This was due to the financing model invented in 2025, when the syndicated loan failed. Under that model, the buyers, off-takers, financed the purchases. By 2022, Cocoa Board finances had deteriorated badly. It defaulted and restructured the cocoa bills in 2023. For the first time in 2023, the annual syndication suffered significant delays due to loss of confidence in the Ghanaian economy. The first tranches was received in 22nd December 2023, 4 months after the commencement of the season. Cocoa Board projected an output of 800,000 tons and committed 786,672 tons in contracts in the 2023-2024 crop season. However, actual production was only 432,145 tons, a deviation of 45% from the projected output. 45% deviation in 2023-2024. Variations in crop forecasts typically vary between 5% to 15%. Hence, a deviation of 45% was unprecedented. This resulted in huge rollover contracts of 333,000. To bring relief to unpaid cocoa farmers, Cabinet has directed Cocoa Board to commence immediate payment of all affected cocoa farmers. B, a new Cocoa Board bill will be presented to Parliament to implement an automatic adjustment of producer price to align with movement in the world market price, exchange rate, and other key variables, and guarantee a minimum of 70% of the gross FOB price to be paid to cocoa farmers. C, a new financing model for cocoa purchases and related operations with associated benefits for increased processing as follows. The current financing model was invented as a necessity after the syndicated loan failed, after 32 years of successful implementation, and it has proven not to be sustainable. The financing models entirely dependent on a buyer's willingness to bear the financing cost and to pre-finance the purchase of cocoa. That's the current financing model. The key motivation for buyers in the previous season was the rollover contracts price at about $2,661 US, when the existing market price were above 8,000 United States dollars per ton. Once the gap between the rollover contracts and the market price closes and the majority of the rollover contracts are serviced, the buyer will not be willing to purchase the crop. Alternatively, the previous syndicated loan model required Cocoa Board to sell forward most of the raw beans to lock in contracts, which repays the loan and serves as the collateral as well. This system did not allow Cocoa Board to optimize prices on the market. In addition, the use of the raw bean contracts as collateral for the loan meant that Ghana could not optimize its installed capacity for processing. The new financing model will utilize domestic cocoa bonds to purchase cocoa and repay with cocoa proceeds within each crop year. The bonds will be used to raise a revolving fund for Cocoa Board to turn around at least once during the season. The model will also revive the indigenous license buying companies that have been completely thrown out of business as a result of the current financing model. The state-owned produce buying company, PBC, will be revived to resume full operation and become the lead license buying company in the cocoa sector. With this new financing model, Cocoa Board can sell beans of any volume to local processing companies to promote value addition and job creation. Cabinet has directed that with immediate effect, the remainder of the beans for the 2025-2026 crop season should be allocated for domestic processing. Cabinet has also directed that beginning from the 2026-2027 crop season, a minimum of 50% cocoa beans should be processed locally. Pursuant to this, the state-owned processing company will be revived as a matter of priority to become the lead processor of the cocoa beans. I have only this morning, together with the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, met with domestic cocoa processors who have indicated their capacity and willingness to process more than 50% cocoa produced in Ghana. An agreement has been reached on that. In order to address the indebtedness inherited by the current management of Cocoa Board, Cabinet has further directed the Minister for Finance to urgently seek parliamentary approval to A, convert part of the legacy debts of about 5 billion Ghana cedis owed to Ministry of Finance and Bank of Ghana to equity. Cocoa Board currently owes the Ministry of Finance 3.7 billion Ghana cedis, which arose from the conversion of the non-marketable cocoa bills into a own, and the Bank of Ghana budget, Government of Ghana has secured a $500 million World Bank facility to construct agricultural roads, including roads in cocoa growing areas. To ensure accountability and transparency in the management of cocoa board and the cocoa sector as a whole, Cabinet has directed the Attorney General to commission concurrent forensic audit and criminal investigations into the activities of cocoa board over the last 8 years. Cabinet has directed the Minister of Finance, Cabinet has directed to ensure accountability and transparency in the management of cocoa board and the cocoa sector as a whole. Cabinet has directed the Attorney General to commission concurrent forensic audit and criminal investigations into the activities of cocoa board over the last 8 years. Cabinet has directed the Minister of Finance to initiate immediate reforms at cocoa board to streamline their operations and cut costs, wasteful and uncontrolled expenditure practices. The world market price has dropped significantly from an average of $7,200 per ton, $200 per ton, to $4,100 per ton, making Ghana's cocoa beans uncompetitive and creating liquidity challenges. To address this, the Producer Price Review Committee met this afternoon to assess the challenges facing the sector and review the producer price for the remainder of the 2025-2026 crop season. In order to cushion the farmer, the PPRC has recommended that the farmers be paid 90% of the achieved gross FOB of $4,200 to mitigate the adverse impact on the farmer as a result of the fall in the world market price. Consequently, the PPRC announces that effective today, Thursday, 17 February 2026, the new producer price for the remainder of the 2025-2026 crop season will be 41,392 Ghana cedis per ton and 22,587 Ghana cedis per bag. This measure has become necessary to reflect the reality of the world market price of cocoa, ensure the injection of immediate liquidity for expedited payment of farmers, and guarantee the sustainability of the sector. Mr. Speaker, this is the statement of the Finance Minister in dealing with the cocoa sector. And let me just add in very brief response to the minority leader. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude my statement. By indicating that there is nothing illegal about what has happened. That cocoa prices can be reviewed upwards and can also be reviewed downwards. And that when you review it downwards, it's not an illegality. Same way, when you review it upwards, it's also not an illegality. So the charge that reviewing it is illegal is unfounded both in law and also in practice. Mr. Speaker, the charge that if the cocoa beans had been sold forward, that we would not have faced this crisis is also unfounded, because indeed a significant portion of the cocoa was sold forward. In every year, it is only a percentage of the cocoa that is part of forward sales. It's not every bean that you do forward sales. Very often you stop at 70%. of the cocoa.
Honorable,
all the years.
Honorable
so,
Majority
Mr. Speaker,
Leader,
it is also not the
Honorable
case.
Majority Leader, you are no longer reading the statement. You are commenting. And the issues relating to legality or otherwise is not part of the statement that I have received. So accordingly, I will order that it be expunged.
Mr. Speaker, as you will know, the circumstances surrounding the making of the statement, I had indicated that we should hold on because I was preparing my side for the statement. Unfortunately, he insisted on, making the statement.
Yes,
you admitted it.
So you are done. So you allow members to contribute on the statement.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. So clearly, I had to put together different scripts that were at my disposal to make a statement.
Yes.
So it is not that I am commenting on the statement.
Yes,
but the first part of my statement
that's why
a one piece.
I indicated
and the second part
clearly
is
from the beginning
of the script that I have.
Whether you want your statement to come by way of a comment or you read a statement. The indication was that you read a statement. So, having read your statement, no comment. Yes, honourable members, it is now time for comments. Yes, Honourable Habib.
Mr. Speaker, I did engage the majority chief whip, even though we were proposing to do 10-10 on both sides, but we agreed to do 5-5 and leadership. And then we are making it 6, so we have submitted our list. I engaged the majority chief whip on it.
Yes, Majority Chief Whip.
Speaker, indeed, that's the agreement.
Thank you very much for doing that. So it's now time for comments. I'll give the first lot to Honorable Abu Jinapo. Please, your comment must not generate debate, and you are commenting not more than 5 minutes. You have the floor. Yes, you have the floor.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to the statement ably made by the minority leader. Mr. Speaker, I think it's important that we call a spade a spade. Mr. Speaker, what is happening today in our country with regards to the cocoa sector is a direct consequence or result of gross mismanagement, poor governmental judgment, lack of understanding of the international cocoa trading by the government. Mr. Speaker, that is purely what it is. It has nothing to do with all the things the majority leader pointed out. It is clearly a result of mismanagement. And Mr. Speaker, I will explain. Mr. Speaker, the cocoa sector and the cocoa industry is older than our country, Ghana. It's as old as Ghana, if not older, Mr. Speaker. It was very central in the issues which animated our forebears when it came to the struggle for independence. Mr. Speaker, 1 million Ghanaians are involved in the cocoa sector. Directly and indirectly, we are talking about 4 million Ghanaian livelihoods when it comes to the cocoa sector of our country. Mr. Speaker, look, the experts have discussed this matter. They've come to a firm conclusion. The reason why we are in this mess is because, Mr. Speaker, the government made a poor judgment when it comes to trading. They had the opportunity to engage in forward sale. They didn't. Mr. Speaker, they had the opportunity to engage in spot sale when cocoa price was $11,000 per ton. They just did not understand the industry. They did not understand the sector. Mr. Speaker, the question about debt, cocoa debts are as old as the sector and as old as the industry. Mr. Speaker, when the MPP government, the Akufo-Addo government came into office in 2017, the Akufo-Addo government inherited a debt of 19 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, indeed, in 2018, there was a debt. The government of Ghana paid cocoa farmers. In 2020, Ghana had a debt. The government of Ghana paid cocoa farmers. Indeed, last year we had debts. We still paid cocoa farmers. It has nothing to do with debts. Mr. Speaker, it has everything to do with judgment. And indeed, indeed, Mr. Speaker, and poor decision making and mismanagement. Mr. Speaker, today, Côte d'Ivoire, our sister country Côte d'Ivoire, almost same population, same industry dynamics. They don't even have premium cocoa. Ghana has premium cocoa. Côte d'Ivoire, in spite of the so-called external factors, in spite of the so-called external shocks and external reduction in international price of cocoa, Côte d'Ivoire today is maintaining their price and paying more to their farmers than Ghanaians are paying. The Ghanaian government is paying to cocoa sector. It is true. It is true. It is true. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, thirdly, never in the history of our country, since President Kwame Nkrumah's time in 1957, have we had such a reduction in cocoa prices in our country. Mr. Speaker, I want to repeat because it has to get home, and the government has to be humble and courageous enough to accept this truth and reality that what we are having today in Ghana generally and the cocoa sector in particular is because of mismanagement. Mr. Speaker, it's because of a lack of understanding of the sector, and indeed it's because of poor judgment when it comes to trading in respect of cocoa. The government must acknowledge that. Mr. Speaker, as I say, we've never had a situation where cocoa prices have reduced in the manner that they've reduced today. Mr. Speaker, what the minority have asked for and what cocoa farmers are asking for, it's not grammar, it's not settings, it's not gimmickry, it's not PR. It's been 11 months. We've had a lot of that. We've had enough of that. What we are asking for and what cocoa farmers are asking for is that they want it. Mr. Speaker, I want to conclude, and I conclude on this fundamental point that they want the bailout. Mr. Speaker, they want government to cut down on expenditure when it comes to the cocoa industry, when it comes to cocoa management. You cannot ask cocoa farmers to take a haircut when you are buying land cruisers at Cocoa Board. You cannot ask cocoa farmers to take a haircut when you are renovating your offices. You cannot ask cocoa farmers to take a haircut when the entire value chain is saved. There are no cuts in the entire value chain, and the poor cocoa farmer rather takes the cut.
Please, your time
and
is
therefore,
up.
Mr. Speaker, I really want to conclude, and I hope the majority leader will take this to cabinet, that the president and the government should have the courage, the honesty and sincerity to accept that the reason for the cocoa price cut is because of mismanagement and incompetence. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Samsonahi, you have the floor. It's now exactly.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to the statement. Mr. Speaker, I wish to state that we find ourselves in this situation because of the mess.
Honorable Chief Whip, I beg you, with all due respect, Samson, here you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker,
we need to manage the time.
Mr. Speaker, exactly so. Mr. Speaker, we listen to the first contributor from the minority side in silence, in absolute silence. So they must learn to listen to our response in silence.
Honorable Samson, here you have the floor. You will stop at 5 minutes after 5.
Mr. Speaker, we find ourselves in this situation because of the mess that was created under the watch of former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Bawumia. Mr. Speaker, it is never true that Côte d'Ivoire has maintained their price. Mr. Speaker, can you explain why?
I'll keep your time for you.
Why?
Yes.
Oh.
You may recall that in my original statement, out of great reference to you, when you edited the mention of the president in it, I accepted it, so that there will be so that there will be no issue of debate. Mr. Speaker, with respect, our colleague can make his submission. He should stay away from trying to use those offensive words at no, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, let's be fair. Colleagues, my original statement, which Mr. Speaker looked at, and I agreed with him that in such matters, certain pronouncements must be out. And I agree. If Mr. Speaker did not permit
Samson Ahi, you can make your comment
President
without
why you
mentioning anybody's name.
Donaldo, stop it.
You can make your comment without mentioning anybody's name. Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, we find ourselves in this situation as a result of the mess caused by the previous administration.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, and I want to state that it is never true that Côte d'Ivoire has maintained their producer price. Because if it is so, the farmers will not even call on government to come and buy their cocoa. Anytime Côte d'Ivoire's price goes up higher than Ghana's price, we will not even hear farmers calling on government to come and buy their cocoa because they will smuggle the cocoa to Côte d'Ivoire. What the farmers are calling on now, it means that our price is even higher than what is being bought in Côte d'Ivoire. Mr. Speaker, we find ourselves in this situation because under the watch of the previous administration, they took a facility from African Development Bank to undertake cocoa rehabilitation. They dedicated $350 million to rehabilitate 156,000 hectares. Mr. Speaker, do you know that the amount